Well, we can talk now to Basem Naim, who is a member of Hamas's political bureau. Sir, I want to start by asking you about the 6 Israeli captives whose bodies were found in a tunnel in southern Gaza. The Israeli authorities and Hamas are blaming each other for killing them. How did they die?
Thank you very much. We also in the leadership of Hamas here outside of the country, we are waiting for the final story or narrative from the resistance on the ground, because it is very complicated there on the ground. We can remember recently when the Israelis have tried to rescue some of their captured Israelis in Nusayrat 2 months ago. They have rescued 3 living captured Israelis, but they have at the same time killed 3 others and killed at the same time 250 Palestinians and wounded hundreds. In each time, in another case in Shujaiya, the Israelis have killed also by, I'm talking killed not only by missiles attacks, where they have killed at least 70 to 80 of their own people, but I'm talking about cases where they have killed by snipers or by direct shooting. Therefore, until now, we cannot confirm any of these allegations of the Israeli side. They haven't
sir, specifically,
shown any reports.
if I can jump in, specifically, Israel says that the autopsy shows that the bodies carry signs of bullet wounds, and the autopsy suggests that they were shot at close range a short while before the Israeli troops got there. Are those things that
First of all, we have heard a lot of Israeli stories like beheading of baby, of mass raping, or gang rapings, and a lot of other lies, which has unfortunately adopted by the Western media, in particular in the United States, which has been shown later or have been proven later to be fabricated stories. Second, they might be killed by cross-shooting or cross-firing between the fighters and the Israeli soldiers, but we are not sure how they have been killed. The Israelis themselves, they haven't shown any evidence. We are ready to send or
and Hamas says that they were killed by bombing, and equally Hamas has not shown evidence of that.
Sorry, we are okay if they can allow us to send a neutral investigation committee with forensic medicine to prove their allegations. But they say this in the media without any serious scientific evidence of what they have said.
Okay, the head of I would point out that the head of the UN Human Rights Office, Volker Turk, has called for such an independent investigation. So the spokesman of Hamas's armed wing says that the guards who are holding the Israeli captives in Gaza have been under new instructions since June, instructions on what to do if Israeli troops approach. What are those instructions?
Again, unfortunately, I cannot satisfy you by a very detailed answer, but again, because I haven't the detailed information, but
this is a statement by Abu Ubaidah, the spokesperson of the Qassam Brigades, yesterday.
I will continue, because you know that 3 weeks or 4 weeks ago, there was an incident that one of the guards of those captured Israelis, for unknown reason, he shot one of the captured Israelis and wounded other 2, and there was an investigation committee, and I don't have the details, but after these incidences, there was new instructions. More details, I cannot now talk about it. I haven't confirmed, but what I am sure of, that any Israeli attempt to rescue their own captured Israelis by force, by missiles attacks, by direct shootings, it will endanger the Palestinian citizen, the people who are guarding them, those captured Israelis, and the Israelis themselves. And we have seen it in many cases along the last 10 months.
Yeah, the same statement by Abu Ubaidah yesterday says something a little similar to what you're saying now, that Mr. Netanyahu's insistence on freeing the captives through military pressure instead of reaching a deal means the captives will go back to their families in coffins. Do you understand that that could be read, that can be construed as meaning that Hamas is willing to kill the captives if Israeli troops get close to them? That's the whole point that I'm trying to put to you. Are you today saying
I cannot understand. No.
Are you saying that Hamas
categorically
would not do that?
I cannot understand in this way, but what I can understand, based on the experience of the last 10 months, that instead of having these people free, enjoying their presence between their in their families through a negotiated deal for months ago, in Netanyahu insisting in continuing this aggression against our people, continuing on retrieving the soldiers by force, and the result in a lot of cases that these captured Israelis has been killed directly by the Israeli soldiers or by missile strikes or maybe by cross-firing between the fighters and the Israeli soldiers. And therefore, in most of the cases, they have tried to retrieve the soldiers. They have failed. Again, they have succeeded only in one case, but in this case in Nusayra, they have retrieved 4 living captured Israelis, killed another 3, and killed 250 other Palestinian citizens, innocent citizens. This is what I can understand from his tweet yesterday, that the attempt to retrieve them forcefully, it means most probably they will be killed.
Let me ask you this then. Is Hamas currently able to keep the captives in Gaza safe as the war continues?
No one is safe in Gaza, neither the captives nor our own people or our fighters. 40, or more than 40,000 Palestinians, most of them children and women killed in Gaza, in most of them in safe zone or safe areas announced by the Israelis. No one is safe in Gaza.
Where are we on ceasefire negotiations right now? Has any progress been made over the last 3 weeks?
Unfortunately, the deal which has been brokered at the beginning of July by the mediators has been undermined and sabotaged by Netanyahu, first of all, by committing 2 big massacres in Gaza Strip, one in Gaza City and the other one in Khan Yunis, and finally assassinating the head of the movement. Second, by adding new conditions which was not negotiated before, even in the Israeli paper, which is considering the core of the negotiated deal. It was not part of this negotiated deal, the new Israeli condition put by Netanyahu. For example, the physical presence of the Israeli army in Philadelphia corridor, the presence of the Israeli army in the Rafah crossing, in Nusayrat or in the Netzarim corridor, the investigation and searching of the people while they are returning back home, and they have changed even the terms or the terminology of the prisoner deal. We have said it clearly. We are committed. We are still committed to go immediately for implementation of what we have agreed upon by the mediators, including the Americans on July 2nd. But we are not ready to go for new negotiations because each time in a lot of stations we were near to reach a deal. He committed either new crimes or he sabotaged the deal by adding new conditions, even which was not part of his own proposal.
Mr. Naim, I want to put something to you which you may or may not be aware of because we ourselves just got the information. The U.S. Justice Department has just announced that it is charging Hamas leader Yahya Sinwar as well as other top Hamas commanders for crimes committed during the October 7th attack. Your reaction, your comments on that?
First of all, it is not surprising for me to hear such news. But I think the one who has to be tried and accused for war crimes is Mr. Joe Biden himself and his administration, who is directly participating for the last 11 months in killing of our people and destroying of our country. The United States has sent along the last 11 months more than 500,000 tons of explosive materials and weapons to Israel. They have supported and backed them up politically by blocking the international will in the UN General Assembly and UN Security Council by using the veto. They have supported them in the media by adopting all their lies and fabricated stories. Therefore, the one who is committing the genocide is not only Netanyahu, but also Mr. Joe Biden and his administration. They have to be tried in front of international courts as genocidal leaders.
Well, as a reminder to our viewers, the chief prosecutor of the ICC, the International Criminal Court, has sought arrest warrants against Yahya Sinwar and against the Israeli Prime Minister and his defense minister. Those arrest warrants have not yet been granted. They haven't been issued, but he has asked for them. Basem Naim, member... Sorry, go ahead.
At the end of, for us Palestinians and all people here in the region, we believe that we are freedom fighters, and Mr. Yahya Sinwar is leading a Palestinian national liberation movement.
Understood. Basem Naim, member of Hamas's political bureau, thank you very much.
Please.
Make sure to subscribe to our channel to get the latest news from Al Jazeera.